Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all of you, dear friends, fellow Africans. I'm here to share with you this good news from Zimbabwe. And of course, Africa has no shortage of innovators, good people, and creative people. Of course, I remember a few days ago I shared the video concerning about Burkina Faso manufacturing the electric cars. But today I brought you this good news from Zimbabwe that one of our brother, our young man, Mr. Maxwell Chikumbuso, has designed a car and automobile that use radio frequencies as a source of power. So let us take a time and listen to Mr. Chikumbuso explaining how he succeeded to manufacture the car and the automobile. Welcome, listen a little bit from Mr. Chikumbuso. Then I will come back to you to share my thoughts on how we can support Mr. Chikumbuso to make sure that Africa is going to supply these electric car, this car automobile, instead of going to import automobile. While we have good engineers, we have good innovators here in the continent of Africa. Welcome and listen to what Mr. Chikumbuso has said.
To launch 2 cars and a motorbike made by a Zimbabwean inventor, Songolani Chikumbuso. Chikumbuso, a 44-year-old man, a resident of Ziwaresekwa in Harare, dropped from school when he was in Form 2 due to financial constraints. He started his journey of making gadgets in the late 1990s, making a radio transmitter, digital navigator, turbine engine using scrap metal. And in 2009, he began his journey into green energy. Hear him explain it to the President, Comrade Emerson Dabuzo Mnangagwa at State House.
No fuel, nothing.
Nothing, no fuel.
First in the world.
The first in the world.
This is power from the sky.
Yeah, from the radio frequency.
This one happened in Zimbabwe.
Yes, we have done it in Zimbabwe.
Can you explain?
Yeah. So the vehicle, it is powered with what we call a microsonic energy device. That is
That's after
yeah, the vehicle, it uses what we call the microsonic energy device. Microsonic energy device, it is the device that I personally invented in 2009, which harness radio frequencies, converted it into energy. As you know, radio frequencies, they are measured in nanovolts, meaning to say they are less than a volt, they are just like nothing, but we find a way of harnessing it through the creation of the 70% of the components in the microsonic energy, which I've tailor-made, which I've designed. So those are the components that enable the radio frequency to be transferred into pure, useful energy. And this is the first time in the world. With that technology, it violates the laws of energy in thermodynamics and also the first law of energy as well.
So they wanted to arrest him for changing physics.
Yeah, yes. Even when we tried to file a patent, they said we are violating the natural laws of physics. So it's not an industrial applicable. We decided to take the trade secret route after that. So with this car, you can also use it to power your house. It is a moving generator. When you drive from work back to your home, you can connect your power cable, then you can power your house. It gives you 15 kilowatts power to power your house. And the vehicle itself, it has got 160 kilowatts electric motor, which gives you a torque of about 320 to 380 Newton meters of torque. That means it's fast. And we are talking of horsepower of around 215 horsepower. So when we compare this car with the same cars of this model, like the Toyota Urban Cruiser, you will see that this is efficient in everything. When you talk of load, our car, it doesn't weigh much. It weighs 1,405 kgs only. When you talk of an urban cruiser, you're talking of about 1,800. So that means you can carry extra baggage in the vehicle. Top speed is 220 kilometers per hour. Yeah. which is fast. It has got 2 driving modes. We have got the sport mode, which will give you 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 2 seconds. That is very, very powerful. Then we've got what we call a normal driving mode. When you want to drive like in town, you can select that one so that it won't give you a lot of torque.
Chikumbuzo also talks about his journey to Silicon Valley in the United States of America, where he was poisoned together with his partner, who passed on for defying the laws of physics.
We were poisoned at that time. Dr. Teddy didn't make it. He died in January 2017. I survived by the grace of God. So I was always in Zimbabwe and United States of America until SE heard about myself. Then he invited
the president.
The president, yes. Then he invited me to come back and put my base in Zimbabwe. So right now I'm based in Zimbabwe. Best advantage, they could the driving range is unlimited. I charge square, I eat my gates. Kungora mamchi driver for the next 20 years. And the motor carriage at Traore, the upper market, the Samurai number plates. Yeah, from 2015 we have been working hard, testing it, homologations, CBCA certifications, ISO certifications, FCC standards, Sheseta Sagaya roadworthy. Even when it comes to Zimbabwe, it went through VID. Sagaya Motkari Akupfumizwa from Baba Road.
You are the inventor.
Yeah, I'm the one who invented the technology.
President Mnangagwa says he called him back home to do his work here in Zimbabwe and is happy to grace the occasion when the vehicles are launched.
Is there any other vehicle in the world?
With this technology, no, this is the first vehicle in the world.
Where is it?
Here in Zimbabwe.
Yes, they only said about 3 million. Stay there. I said, let them eat their 3 million. Come here, eat sons. This technology. But he's more educated than engineers. Yeah. All this from the time he began doing these things, I've been supporting him.
Yes.
Throughout. Yeah, he was making television at my house. And they can have a television and there's no wire. You can listen to all stations which we want on tarmac. There's this, what do you call it?
Drones.
Drone.
Yeah.
So we make a drone. So he made one. This is about 2 years ago.
Yes.
We made a drone. Yeah, you can make a drone from here. Just put up wires together and put something around it. You can fly to Capt and call it back. This is the only vehicle that exists in the world. There's no other in the world. This is the only vehicle in the world, and it is here in Zimbabwe by this young Zimbabwean. And he's so gifted, you won't believe it. When he first came to talk to me, I thought he had he didn't have all the wires in his head, but I now know that it's well connected, all connected.
To the layman, these 2 vehicles which were brought to State House and a motorcycle use radio frequencies that powers these vehicles. No electricity, no liquid fuel, and they are silent when traveling, clocking a speed of up to over 220 kilometers per hour, and have all the trappings of modern vehicles. The current vehicles were assembled in China using Chikumbuso's powertrain of radio frequencies. If fully produced, the vehicles could cut Zimbabwe's fuel import, and Sungulani suspects that the oil and vehicle manufacturers in the United States could have had a hand in his poisoning. Soon Zimbabwe will launch to the world what her young minds can do for the country and humanity, said the president. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, State House, Harare.
Yes, dear kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, welcome back. I'm waiting to hear from you. What is your opinion from what you heard from Mr. Chikumbuso, a young innovator from Zimbabwe who has succeeded to design a car and a motorbike that used radio frequencies as a source of power. So, of course, I have no doubt with Africans to be good innovators, to be creative. The problem that I have is how are we going to support them? The problem of Africa is that we are not working together. And of course, we have seen Burkina Faso, Uganda have succeeded to have these electric cars. So how can we join together, join hands with this young entrepreneur, this young innovator in Zimbabwe, join to our brothers and sisters in Burkina Faso, join to those who are in Uganda, to make sure that the continent of Africa are going to have one of the biggest automobile company that will produce enough cars, enough motorbikes to supply here in the continent of Africa. All of us, we are familiar that Africa, we are importing used cars from Japan and somewhere else from maybe America, from Europe. So this time we have got good people, innovators who can manufacture cars, automobile, and also can manufacture motorbikes here in the continent of Africa. So how can we support them? How African Union is going to support these innovators? That is the question that we need to ask ourselves. And of course, as I said many times, Africans, we don't have the tendency of supporting each other. We're not united. We're not supporting each other. So how can we do? How can we come together and unite to make sure that we support these young entrepreneurs, young innovators here in the continent of Africa? It is possible if Africa we can come together and unite. You know, have been saying this many times. The day Africa will come together, that's the day Africa will move forward. Africa will never move forward in division ways. And of course, we know that those who have companies, Western companies, will try to sabotage the initiative and these young people. They will try to do everything to make sure that this young man will not succeed. How are we going to protect him? How are we going to support him? That is the question that we need to ask ourselves as the people of Africa. But all in all, if Africa we are serious, we want changes, we want development, we can come together and say, let us build one of the biggest industry here in the continent of Africa that will supply cars as well as motorbike in the continent of Africa, because we have no shortage of good people, innovators, and creative people here in the continent of Africa. The problem that we have, we are not supporting them. We are not giving them power to make sure that they are going to succeed. Of course, I'm very happy to see Mr. Mnangagwa showing his support to this young man, Mr. Chikumbuso. I wish the SADC leaders must come in and show appreciation, supporting this young man, and make sure that this young man is going to produce enough cars to supply in the East Africa or in the SADC region, wherever, even in the continent of Africa, instead of waiting to see what will happen. We must understand that the Western power, those who have companies, will not give him oxygen to survive. So it needs all of us to support this young man, Mr. Chikumbuso. And of course, he's already taken to America. He's decided to come back and do his innovation here in the continent of Africa, in Zimbabwe. So to succeed, to make sure that this man is going to achieve what he's dreaming about, we must support his initiatives. How are we going to support? That is a question that all of us we must ask ourselves. But all in all, fellow friends, fellow Africans, we need to come together. You know, I've been saying this many times that our unity is our salvation. Sometimes when you see, and of course you have seen, for instance, in pharmaceutical industries, Trump has shut down the supply of ARV. So you can see. But if Africa, we can sit down and say, we have good innovators, we have intelligent people here in the continent of Africa, so how can we use our people? Instead of relying on the US and other partners, let us go and create our own things. Let us go and manufacture our own medicine, our own cars, our own machineries. It is possible. Africans, we are so innovative. Africans, we are so creative. The problem that we have, our leaders are not supporting our innovators, are not supporting our creative people. They are looking on the West and East. They have been entered in the traps of Western businesses and also in the trap of Eastern businesses. instead of supporting young innovators in the continent of Africa, they're supporting the Chinese, they're supporting the Europeans, they are supporting Americans. So the time has come for Africans, our leaders especially, to see the importance of supporting our young men and women here in the continent of Africa. Africa, we are so intelligent. Many times I have been saying this. We need to protect our intelligent people in the continent of Africa. We have no shortage of them, but the problems that we have seen many of them are being taken away from this continent. Went to Europe, went to America, went to China, and somewhere else, and working for those countries instead of working for Africa. So this time around, we must say we want our young men and women to learn our economy. We want our young men and women to learn our businesses. So if we can give oxygen to them, they can do wonders. And I'm very happy Mr. Mnangagwa has shown the way. And of course, in Burkina Faso, we have seen Captain Traore supporting young men and women. So let us come together. That is an important issue. If you have anything, please share with us through the comment section. What is your opinion? But all in all, let me tell you, Africans, we are so intelligent, sophisticated, and indestructible people in this world. The Western world, has tried to distract Africans many years ago, but they didn't succeed. Africans are still remaining powerful people in this world, and will continue to remain the powerful people in this world. And of course, Africa built America, built Europe. Africans are those who innovated many things in this world, but because Africans are being underestimated, they didn't show, the Western power and Europeans and Eastern power didn't show appreciation to Africans for what they have done in this world. But all in all, the time has come to say it is our time, the people of Africa, to drive the economy, to drive the world, and to take our driver's seat as the people of Africa. After that, dear friends, fellow Africans, let me say thank you. Have a nice time. This is a good news from Zimbabwe. And of course, if you have anything, please share with us through comment section. Viva Africa, viva Pan-Africanism. Let us unite, let us come together, let us work together as the people of Africa. After that, thank you and see you next time. Thank you.